Hello and welcome. These are horse racing bets for Friday, the 27th of January. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Apologies if you have been staying up to watch it. If you watched it in the morning, you know no different. But if you're watching it at the late hour when I've uploaded, well done for staying up. I've had a lot of back and forth, I'll be honest. Because it's not been a great month statistically, clearly, as well documented. If you've been following all the comments, tips, you'll actually probably up. You should probably be up this month. The channel stake is now just teetered over, down by £100. So we have got channel wise Friday, Saturday, Sunday to turn it around. Sunday don't look like you're going to do that on Sunday. There's not a lot going on. So it's Friday or Saturday, and I'm saying Friday. Friday's the day to have a little bit of a go. So I'm having a little bit of a go on Friday. Stake and a half is what we're doing. I'm feeling the pressure. I'll be honest, feeling the pressure when you're on a losing run and you're saying you're having a little go, and you're getting to the end of the month, you're thinking, so we're down just £100 for the month, right? Which is not great at all. It's rubbish. That being said, if you've been watching, you will know that last year we made over £2,000. So you've got to have a bit of context, but at the same time, there's no escaping. January it's not been good for statistics, but it's been all right for actual tips in between. It's just frustrating. So we'll go through the tips for Thursday, which were pretty poor. And then I'll tell you why Friday might be better. It's up to you guys. It's all optional. It's all free. Just to remind you, everything I do on it is free. And in January, a lot of people would suggest they wouldn't want to have paid for it anyway. But I don't charge for anything. It's entirely optional. You're all adults. At least you should be at this time of night. You make your own judgments or whatever. These are real bets in a real account for this channel that I am placing with my own money. I have faith in the long-term plan in what I'm doing. Do I know if tomorrow's going to be a good day? No, I feel like the channel needs it. I don't know about deserves it, but needs it, is what I'm saying. So, first race, I should say as well, after that little preamble, is actually 1:15 at Lingfield, because I've got a few little things coming up in the Friday plan. That is it, 1:15 Lingfield, and there's 6 bets. So a 2 flag for Friday, 6 bets. I've only got one that is a bit more complicated. The others I've kept simple because I've gone for volume. So as far as Thursday goes, I got hammered basically. I got 11 to 2 shot placed in the big race, which drifted. And then we had dark shot, but that only worked for Sky Bet, and that wasn't really worth a great deal. So I've got it as 20 on 226 back. So we are £22.50 or something like that down for the week, down for the month, as I said. So come on, here we go. All right, Thursday, what did we do? We had this. All of them, pretty much got comfortably beaten, didn't they? There was a couple of pulled up in there as well. Wasn't any good. We had this one, dark shot snagged 4th, only good enough for Sky, and that was it. And then in this one, it was only the shorty in the big race, 11 to 2. I mean, the horse that won it was the 9 to 2 favourite, so 11-year-old 9 to 2 favourite. It's not one I'd have picked at that price. I preferred that horse at a similar price, but there you go. And then that was pants. So no good. Right, here we go. Let's get the positive vibes going, folks. I'm gonna do some voodoo mind tricks on the horses. Okay, so I'm saying we're having a little go, and here we go. What we going with? First win, Trixie of the year. Oh, clearly I've got that desperate, haven't I? But yes, I have got in my half stake or stake and a half day, my £30 staking plan for Friday, bet 1, a win Trixie. Just about was happy it was worth a go. So 1:15 Lingfield, real estate 4 to 1. It's a classified race, but I do think that horse looks like the best one. 4:30 Dundalk, beyond boundaries 5 to 2. Again, not the best race in terms of there's quite a lot of runners in that race, but in terms of actual ratings wise, I think that one should come out ahead. And then 7 o'clock Dundalk, bit of a tighter one. This one, it's between two really, and I think on balance I would stick with Song for Whoever. I think that's got more potential to even be better than its current mark, 15-8. It's funny amount because some of the other bets worked out funny. 55p win Trixie, so win doubles and win treble. So yeah, I have not put out a win Trixie bet, which was a regular at a time, and then it's kind of come and gone. First one of the year on the 27th of January. There we go, win Trixie. Bob bookie is what you want. You want a bookie that pays Bob. Prices will be similar. Okay. Now we'll get into the rest of it, because some of you will just literally feel like he's lost his mind here, isn't he? We'll skip on to the good stuff, shall we? Bet 2, and there's a reason why some of these are smaller stakes, which will be revealed when we get to Bet 5. Bet 2, 220 Lingfield, Trally Hills. Now we've taken that a few times. It's done us a decent service a few times. 7 runner race. On that one specifically for those single backers, Corals Hills 365 are currently paying third place on the 7 runners. Sky isn't. It might change in the morning. Sometimes they do that. Right now, I'm taking this on the Channel Stakes. Is first 2 7 runners in the first 2 only. But yeah, it's on Coral, on William Hill and 365. You'll get 3 places if you want to do that. Then we've got 315 Doncaster Joke Dancer 28-1. 335 Huntingdon Risk and Roll 20-1. 420 Doncaster gone in 60 25-1. Smaller stake 15 pence each way, lucky 15, 450 a bet. I'm actually saying Coral's the preferred bookie on that one. You get 3 there, so you're a place better off than Sky. And then I think it's this race where Sky are 6, Coral are 5, same terms on those 2. So on that basis, you're better off with Sky there, better off Coral there, but you'll get bog on all of them with Coral. So I'm saying Coral's your better bookie for Bet 2. Then Bet 3. Oh yeah, Bet 3. Bet 3. Yes, this is a real bet. I'm a serious person and I do make money at gambling, and this is a bet that I am genuinely placing. Okay, just to be clear. I know it's late for some of you, but yeah, this is legit. Bet 3. 230 Huntingdon, My Girl Lollipop 50-1. 250 Lingfield, Gin and Tea 66-1. 345 Doncaster, The Dancer 50-1. 730 Dundalk, Florence Thompson 33-1. Even smaller stake, 12 pence each way, lucky 15. So just 12 pence each way, lucky 15. And then I've put singles on them just to try and slightly lower the risk value, but 20. They're all massive prizes, aren't they? 4 times 25p each way singles on that, so it works out as 560. Sky is best, Coral next best. All of these fall under the category of there's something that says they could actually run to a much better standard than that price. But for most of them, that was based on one run maybe. So some of them is a bit more than that. So they are risky McRiskersons, is how I would describe it. But I think, given the price of those, there is value in the price and therefore worth to go. So basically, I've just stuck the biggies in together there. 560 is your bet for Bet 3. Okay, Bet 4. This one looks tame in comparison. 315 Doncaster, Gold de Bois 20s. 335 Huntingdon, our old mate Romeo Brown. He won nicely at 50-1, left him last time. Going again, Romeo Brown, 25s. 420 Doncaster, Noble Savage, 33s. And then 715, it was a bit debatable. It's a bit of a riskier one. But there's enough over course and distance to say that Gonzaga is the kind of horse that can snag a 4th when you might want it to. So Gonzaga, 20-1. 15p each way, lucky 15. 450 your bet. Sky best, Coral next best. That is Bet 4. And then Bet 5. Here is the big un. Okay, that's it. So let me talk you through, because there's a little bit level of complication. So this is why we're having a go, because we're upping our stake a little bit to place this in. So I'm not stacked at Dundalk. I'm stacked on the free afternoon, or free, not the three afternoon races that I like best over Doncaster and Huntingdon on the jumps. So 3:15 Doncaster, Joke Dancer and Gold de Bois. 3:35 Huntingdon, Risk and Roll and Romeo Brown. 4:20 Doncaster, Noble Savage and Gone in 60. And then 7:30 Dundalk, Florence Thompson and Not Amused. Okay, so the way I've done this, for the jumps ones, the 6 jumps ones, we've got here 12 times 10p each way doubles and 8 times 10p each way trebles. So just those 6 together, all combinations of doubles and trebles, 10p each way, basically works out at £4 total. So it's 160 for the trebles and 240 for the doubles. £4 total is that element. And then I've added in to, this is our kind of our big salvation bet. If it can manage to land anything on here, we'll be obviously delighted. But we've got then the fourfolds on here as well. 16 times 10p each way fourfold. That in itself is a 320 bet. I don't do it often. Don't think I've done it this year. But yeah, we've not landed one in terms of 4 legs yet when I have done it, but I haven't done it loads. 16 times 10p each way fourfolds. So really what we're looking at is you need at least one of those in each leg. One of those in each leg placing. If we managed to do that, that's £100 return. Now, that would be delighted, and if we got that £100, that's just off that bit and you get a bunch more for that bit. So it'll add up. But these are prices for a reason, and I'm saying all 8 are overpriced. And I think they all should be shorter prices than that. And I think some will get knocked in a little bit on Friday nearer the time. And I think some will probably sit there. But yeah, I think that is worth a go. Bet 5. That's the biggie for the day. And then to finish us off, bet 6. Here's the Dundalk special. So that is it. We're finishing with the Dundalk special. 5 o'clock, Halcyon Spirit 15 to 2. 5:30 Rio Large 12 to 1. 6:30 Gumama 12 to 1. 7:30 Not Amused 33 to 1, which we've taken before. 20p each way lucky 15. Standard Dundalk special bet £6. Sky Best 365 next best. I put 365 over some of the others where the same place terms, but particularly if you put it on tonight, 365 are offering better odds. That is bet 6. Okay. Just a quick word on the golf, and then there was one other thing I was going to talk about, because there was a few questions in the comments about restrictions on Sky accounts, and I was just going to give a few thoughts and views on said thing. As far as the golf goes, it's been a tough day on the golf. It looks like everybody's been dropping shots left, right, centre. Just double checking myself where we're at. Ryan Palmer looks like the main hope. He's 2 under. He's tied to 23rd with 2 under, so he's about 3 or 4 shots off the placings, and he's finished his round. And then we've got Thompson finished on level par, so he's a few more shots back, but he's going to make the cut. And then Shelton's got 2 more holes to play, and he needs to basically par them both at least to make the cut. Rogers looks like he's done and dusted. I think he started off well with a birdie, and then he's not done great, and he's 2 over. And that's all in the Farmers Insurance. In the Dubai Desert, there wasn't much play, so none of our 3 players. We've got 3. None of them made it out of the traps. So we'll have to see how they get on Friday. They're all due to tee off in the morning, but we'll see, because obviously I haven't read why. I'm guessing it was bad weather, but So we'll see how the golf goes. Ryan Palmer, he's hanging in there for the Farmers Insurance. All right, and then last thing, Sky Bet accounts. So yeah, a few comments on here, and I think I learn stuff. I learn stuff all the time about the horses. Like, I'm still learning. I will always learn until the day I die. When I'm betting on horses, I will learn every day, and that's how you got yourself keep yourself right. You got to evolve what you do all the time. Tinker with things. Look at data. So anything I put on the channel is kind of, for me, tried and tested. But outside of that, I do try little things out, and I keep little data streams of different information and stuff, and just sort of see if I can find different things to play on angles. And what I've learned about Sky is, so when the channel account got restricted, so the original channel account, so I had a channel account that went from channel setting up that ran me till October, and we had a couple of thousand on it at that point, and that's when restrictions kicked in. It was still usable at that point, but then what I noticed, which I didn't know if it's coincidental or not, is a number of viewers then not long after, literally the week, all started to say at the same time their accounts have been restricted. Now I don't know, and this is my learn for me. I don't know how it works at Sky Bet, and if anyone's works on Sky Bet who's watching the channel, let us know. It'd be a really helpful insight for us punters out there. But I don't know whether they literally have a quarterly review and then just like restrict a bunch of accounts or not, or whether or not they're looking at bet repetition and therefore going, actually all of these bets are similar, so we're going to restrict all these accounts at the same time. Because what I'm not used to using is multiple counts to know whether they all get restricted at the same time. So it's a bit of new territory for me to find this out. Because then what's happened this week is there seems to be another tranche of restrictions. So even people who were on restrictions, it's all got super tight this week. So whereas you were still able to probably follow on most of the channel bets, this week it's got silly. And the original channel account, I switched over, so I've switched on my second account for the channel. So I'm on a different Sky account for the channel, and clearly I've had some support with that because someone's helping me out, if we know what I mean. But I keep an eye on the other the old channel account, because I was using it for own bits and bobs. And that went super tight restrictions this week, just the same time as everybody else told me that they've gone super tight restrictions. I haven't been using it as much, and I hadn't. It's nothing. There's nothing specifically a spike in betting. It just seems to be that this week there's a whole bunch more restrictions. So the original account got to £2,000, and now on the tighter restrictions, it's got up to about 3,000. So just kind of sharing that so people have got a bit of an understanding. I kind of expect that probably for a Sky account. So got up to £2,000 restricted, and then another grand super restricted is where it's about at. I don't sort of just kind of explaining. I mean, in uncharted territory, because I'm not used to like knowing loads and loads of people who've got loads of Sky Bet accounts and realising they all get restricted at the same time. So for those of you if that's happened to, your account is basically done. Once you've gone down to pence, then there's not much you can do about it. You can't challenge it. It's within their gift to basically restrict you if they don't want your money. And ultimately, bookmakers do not want winning punters on their books, because why would they? Because they win. So if you're showing long-term profit, doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have even got up to thousands of pounds. If you're on a winning trajectory, they will shut you down at any point. So the account is kind of dead and buried, I would say. So my advice is to take the money out that you've got in there. If you've got a significant amount, it's best to try and take it out in increments, because if you try and take it out in a bigger chunk, they're much more likely to start asking you lots of extra questions about ID and money laundering and all ridiculous things like that. So my advice is take the money out in increments rather than in one big lot. So a few hundred at a time, maybe every week, and get it out that way. You can try just taking it all out, but that's how I usually do it. Obviously it's really, really important to say you cannot have two betting accounts in the same name for the same person. So if your Sky Bet account is done, you cannot have an account in your name with your address, with your email. You are not allowed to do that. I'm not advising anybody anything. I'm just telling you what you're not allowed to do. It's really hard, because I never quite know what to say on these things in terms of what's all right or not, because I don't want to be seen to be giving people advice on this sort of subject. But you can't have it you can't have two accounts in one name with one address and one email address. And the thing is, these days, IP addresses get tracked and stuff. So sometimes, if you know somebody who's got a different name to you and a different address and different email address, it's helpful if they've got a different phone to you as well. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Some people are going to be so confused. I don't know. Fairly obvious, hopefully. I will be back Friday night, hopefully, with some delightful news about what a great day we've had. But, you know, I want it to be, but you know we can't guarantee these things, can we? So let's see how we roll on Friday. And, yeah, we never know. We might get through the afternoon and it might be terrible. We might be getting excited and therefore we could be rolling on to the 7:30 at Dundalk with joy in our hearts, or we could be rolling on with 2 horses left in the 7:30 and we've got a 25p each way single on one and the other one's in lucky 15 with a bunch of ducks. Could be either way. It's up to you whether you choose to invest your £30 as I have invested £30 of the channel money. The important thing is I've built up money in the channel account. So therefore, although I'm on a losing run, I'm not betting any of my money. I'm betting money I've won, and that's the difference. And that's what's hard when you're starting out and you're doing this from the beginning and you don't have the discipline. You are using money and it becomes a hobby where you're spending money. I don't spend money. I put it in and I build it up. That's how it works. Sometimes you hit runs where it absolutely goes down. But yeah. All right. Far too long this video. I will see you tomorrow night. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.